Let's pit TIRTIR against the brand new cushion foundation on the market. They say you always remember your first. Now the question is, do you remember the very first cushion foundation that you tried? Now for me, it is the most viral cushion foundation there ever was that Miss Darcy introduced to us, and it is the TIRTIR Cushion Foundation. This is the first one that I tried, so technically you can say this is my first. Fast forward to last week, the L'Oreal Infallible Cushion Foundation was the second cushion foundation that I tried that gave me a beautiful match. Now, in today's video, we are going to pit the very first cushion foundation from Korea against the new L'Oreal Infallible Cushion Foundation that I just recently tried. Of course, when I used this foundation, I was able to do a wear test. When I used this foundation, I was not able to do a wear test. So today, it's early. I'm going to do a wear test, and you can see how this foundation performs on the skin in a wear test. And I'm also simultaneously going to be comparing it to the TIRTIR Cushion Foundation, so you can see which one behaves really well on oily skin, also to see which one of these two is worth your coin. So if you want to see these two foundations pitted against each other, then keep on watching. Get out the way. If you are new here, my name is OHEMAA. Welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, hey. I asked if you guys wanted to do wear tests with or without primers, and about 90% of you said you wanted to do it without primers. So from now on, all my foundation reviews are going to be done without primers. I'm going to just use moisturizer on my skin. I mean, my skincare was recently done. So now you guys asked for that because you want to see exactly how my oily skin interacts with the foundation. A few of you also said that you actually don't use primers in your makeup routine. So like, I'm very excited that we both align on the no primer with foundation review type of a thing. So, you know, let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, if you didn't know, this is the TIRTIR Cushion Foundation. It's called the Mask Fit Red Foundation. I think it's red because they have other foundations that are not red. At the time when I reviewed it, it was retailing for $21.60, and it says that you can wear it for up to 72 hours. It's mask proof, seriously smooth, no slip, weightless, and full coverage. It's matte, it's a powder all-in-one, and it comes in 30 shades. Whenever I did the research, the powder all-in-one essentially is that it is a cream foundation that has powder and everything in it, so it can control your oils. Right now, the TIRTIR is retailing for $25 on the Ulta Beauty website, but on other sites online, you can get it for as low as $15. The L'Oreal Cushion Foundation on Ulta retails for $19.99. There are 20 shades in this collection. It's weightless, soft matte, buildable, transfer sweat and water resistant. It's also saying that it makes your skin so smooth it looks like a filter, and it's also non-comedogenic. Now that I've told you about these foundations, let's go ahead and swatch them. We have the three deepest shades of both the TIRTIR and the L'Oreal Cushion Foundation. So we're going to start with the deepest shade first, okay? Now, when you open the TIRTIR Cushion Foundation, this is what it looks like on the inside. This is the deepest cushion foundation from TIRTIR, and oh, it's deep. So this is the deepest TIRTIR foundation. The thing with these cushion foundations is you can't mix it, you know, so whatever formula they put onto the sponge, that's the formula you're going to get. Hopefully it is mixed enough to where, you know, it doesn't give you any problems. But as it stands, this is the deepest of the TIRTIR cushion foundation. This is the shade 55N. The next deepest shade is 51 Neutral as well. I'm just tapping into it and swatching. Okay, this is the second deepest shade. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the shade that I initially used for my review. This is the one I blended in. And next we have 47, which is the shade Ebony, 47 Neutral. Okay, so these are the three deepest shades of the TIRTIR Cushion Foundation. This is after, I think, a shade extension and everything. This is what it looks like. Now, we're gonna let it sit because this says that it's a matte foundation. We want to see how matte it gets compared to the L'Oreal Infallible, which is a soft matte. It doesn't get too matte, but you know, it does dry down very, very nicely. It does dry down a little bit. The deepest shade of the L'Oreal Cushion Foundation is 420. Once again, I'm gonna pat into it. Oh, there's a difference in the cushion. The actual cushion in the containers. The TIRTIR cushion is it feels very rigid. It's not as soft. It's like hard, right? You have to like, it's stiffer. Okay, the actual cushion in the packaging is very stiff compared to this one, which is like really soft. It's very soft in the L'Oreal one. Okay, so let's see. So this is it. I had to tap into it 3 times to get it to like come out like this straight off the bat. The texture, I mean the thickness of, I'll say texture, the texture of the two foundations are wildly different. The TIRTIR Cushion Foundation is a thicker formula. The TIRTIR Cushion is a thicker formula, and as you saw, with just one tap, I was able to give you this thick, gorgeous coverage of a swipe. With the L'Oreal foundation, it is a much lighter, I want to say a more fluid foundation. So I had to like really get in there. I had to pump it 3 times to be able to get this going for you. And as you can see, the TIRTIR is still really glowy compared to the L'Oreal, which is a lighter formula. And you can see that it's already drying down matte. It's left with the middle part, and I think it's going to be dried down completely before I'm actually done swatching. We're gonna go in and swatch the second deepest foundation. Oh yeah, it's so soft, and it doesn't come onto the finger as aggressively, as thick as the TIRTIR one. Okay, this is I have to go back in to give you a nice line. Okay, this is the second deepest shade of the L'Oreal Cushion Foundation, and once again I had to go back in twice, and it's like already disappearing from my hand. The TIRTIR one, I had to like really wipe my hands to get it off. It's a very thick foundation, but it also says that it's a full coverage foundation, so that makes sense, right? It has to be thick in order to be full coverage. The L'Oreal foundation is a buildable foundation, so you know, it has to be light enough for you to be able to choose your build, you know, like just choose what kind of coverage you want. Now this is the third deepest shade. This is the third shade for our L'Oreal. Doesn't give a nice drag. Like this one gave a nice pull. This one does not. So I have to like go in there. This is the 3 deepest shades of the L'Oreal. Take it in. Okay, we're gonna give it a few minutes to dry down. I'm going to use my fan so I can try to speed up the dry time, but as you can see, the L'Oreal Cushion Foundation is a very skin-like finish because it's like so lightweight, it's mimicking my skin. These two are closer in tone than this one. So 55 looks like it doesn't belong in the range. Over here, the top 2 look like they belong in a range, and the 380 does not look like it belongs with this range. So I think one more shade between these two would have given us a nice cross between this. Now with this one more shade between this and this would have given us a nice cross between the two. So the 3 deepest shades both have some gaps that need to be filled in. The TIRTIR foundation is much thicker than the L'Oreal, and the L'Oreal dries down faster than the TIRTIR. Can't wait for the TIRTIR to dry down anymore, but it's still not like, it's not as wet as it was before, but it's also not completely dry. The L'Oreal is completely dry. It's kind of creamy still to the touch, but it's completely dried down. Let's go ahead and wipe this off and do our quick routine so we can see what it's gonna look like. I'm actually going to use the TIRTIR on this side of my face because I have a lot of acne marks that I literally just got rid of. Like you guys, I've been on it with my skincare lately. Like I know that I was doing my skincare, but I was slacking on my exfoliators and I just was not doing what I was supposed to do. So my pores were like really congested, but I locked in and I knocked this out. And this side is not so bad, but I didn't want to go so hard over here. And then as soon as I knocked these out, like this one decided to say, hey, what's up? But I know this and this is probably from because I shaved my face and that's why they're there, you know, but that's okay. I love how my skin looks. My skin looks really hydrated. It is glowy, but it's not oily, which I love. So let's go ahead and jump into it, okay? I'm using the shade 51N in the TIRTIR Cushion Foundation, and I'm going to use this on the right side of my face because I have a lot of the dark marks that need to be covered up. But I will use the L'Oreal shade number 4 410 on the left side of my face. Because I have less butt, I'm also going to see if I can cover up this over here. The reason why I'm using this on this side is because it is a fuller coverage foundation and I have more to cover up. I have less to cover up here, so you know, it makes sense to do it that way. Let's go in with it. I'm putting my foam on it, pushing down, and this is how much it picked up. We're going to I'll see if this will just be enough to cover my whole face. And we're just doing half of the face. I have to remember that. Oh God. Okay, I'm going to have to mix these shades because from what I'm seeing, it looks like, from what I'm seeing, shade 51 is still too light for my skin tone, but shade 55 is also a little too deep for my skin tone. I don't have like an exact or something close to an exact shade in the TIRTIR Cushion Foundations. It does match certain parts of my face, and I will definitely need to, oh God, but if you look at my forehead though, it's like, yeesh, you know? Let me blend this in really well, and we'll leave it. If it needs a little bit of help, I will add a bit of 55 to it to match it better, but I probably most definitely need to go in with the second shade to get it to blend in better. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of 55 because this is too light for my skin tone, and 55 was too deep, if I remember correctly, whenever this tone is not working for me. Okay, let's go in with our L'Oreal Infallible Foundation, and this is the shade 410. Okay, we're also gonna push it down. I'm going back in a second time because it is a very fluid foundation, so it like a little bit, one pump of it can't cover my whole entire face. I needed to go back in again to get some more. Going back in a third time to help with the coverage, just to, I mean, it did cover up my dark spot that I had over there really well. I just want to make it a bit comparable to what we got going on over here. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Okay, we're gonna treat this as if we're in a hurry to leave the house. So we'll see how quickly each side dries down. I had to mix to get a workable shade for the TIRTIR foundation, and this is the shade that I was able to come up with. For this one, straight out of the packaging, this is the shade match that I got. This L'Oreal TIRTIR. TIRTIR is really glowy, and L'Oreal is not so glowy. Now, because I'm going to treat this as if I am in a hurry, I'm going to actually go over it with a blending sponge so it can take away some of the product, and hopefully that will make it dry down quicker because this is really thick on the skin. I went to look at this in natural. Guys, this shade is not working for me. Is it? Did I make a mistake in my mix? I don't like mixing foundations for the simple fact that, you know, you never know what you're gonna get the next time you mix it. But this is the mix I got out of it. One shade was just not gonna be enough. I'm gonna go over it with a blending sponge to pick up some of the product. But if you're in a hurry, I don't know that you want to be able to mix it and then pick some off. As far as like ease of use, you know, it's a very thick foundation. Look how much it's picked up. This is what the color looked like. This is how much it's picked up off of my skin. I don't feel the need to do that with the L'Oreal side because it's already dried down as soft matte as it can get. It has already dried down soft matte. So, you know, this is what the match looks like. And this is what the match looks like. Which side do you like better? You know, like you decide which side is which, but this is what I'm getting out of it. Based on the foundation blends alone, the L'Oreal does feel very lightweight on the skin. The L'Oreal does feel lighter on the skin than the TIRTIR. L'Oreal is already dried down really nicely, and the TIRTIR is still very glowy. Okay, let's go in with our concealer. We're gonna use the TIRTIR concealer. TIRTIR products do have like a slight gray cast to it when it comes to the deeper shades, but I think it's the mattifying properties in there that makes it look like that. Right now I'm looking at the tone even right here, and it's looking not as gray as it did when I initially put it on. It is still really, it feels very sticky, but it doesn't seem to be transferring onto my hand. I'm trying to keep my base as skin tone like as possible. So let's go ahead and set the concealed areas, and then I'll set with a very light translucent powder so we can see what the whole base looks like. Before I set it, this is what the L'Oreal side is looking like. If you're in a hurry and you don't want to worry about the glow and all of that, the L'Oreal is lighter. It's less glowy compared to the TIRTIR. So I'm going to set with a bit of translucent powder. Time is 3:09 right now. So we'll consider this where we're starting our wear test. I'm going to finish everything and then I'll come back so we can set. But I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes for, so that we can finish everything. So by 3:20, I should be done. Okay guys, this is the finished look and it is 3:20. This is what I got with my original setting spray from Milani. This is what it's looking like. The TIRTIR side is slightly cooler than the L'Oreal side, but they both look very much like skin based on just the base alone. If I had to choose when it comes to the shade or the tone of the product, I will absolutely go with the L'Oreal one because it is easier for me to see what it's going to look like, how it's going to blend down, and it is lighter and it sets itself a lot quicker than the TIRTIR one. The TIRTIR one is thicker. It will cover, like, all the acne spots over there are completely covered. My skin is looking smooth, very much like this side. But the thing is, it took so long for it to set, and also the gray tone of it has me a lot worried that, if you're not somebody who has like several different shades to try to balance it out, I don't know what it's gonna look like. The L'Oreal side does not look as cool as the TIRTIR side, but the TIRTIR side definitely oxidized a little bit better based on the shade, the tone, the blendability, the dry down time. I think right now L'Oreal is absolutely winning. Will the tone of the foundation change with my natural oils coming through and, with a little bit of a wear? I want to know what it's gonna look like. Okay, this is the 1 hour mark and this is the front facing camera on my iPhone. This is what it looks like. It doesn't look bad at all. I'll do more check-ins in natural light. Hello, it's 7:50. I was supposed to check in at 7:30, but here we are, 4 hours. You can see my oils have clearly like snuck in. Somehow I feel like the TIRTIR side is glowier. Look at the corners of my nose compared to the L'Oreal side, but that's really how I'm feeling. The TIRTIR side is also really, really cool. Look around my lips and my forehead. It doesn't look that bad, but around my lips looks very, very cool compared to this side, which looks much more like skin tone. I did eat. I made some bangkung. I made bangkung. I made okra soup. Like, this is the TIRTIR side, and this is the L'Oreal side. That's what the skin is looking like. Welcome back, honey. Welcome back. The time is now 10:17, so we're close to 8 hours of wear on this base. My lips are gone. Let's reapply that. I'm using the L'Oreal Plump Ambition in the shade 660. Almost 8 hours of wear on this base, and this is what it's looking like. At first glance, the TIRTIR side I think is more glowy, especially around the nose and the cheek area compared to the L'Oreal, which is slightly better, especially around the nose and the cheek area. The forehead, both of them are equally as glowy and as oily, you know what I mean? The chin is equally glowy and oily, but next to the nose, I feel like the TIRTIR side is more than the L'Oreal side. The cheeks also glowy, but this side is definitely glowier. Then again, the actual finish of the foundations, the TIRTIR side was glowier compared to the L'Oreal side. So, it makes sense that, this is the outcome of this wear test, okay? My under eyes are not broken up into smithereens. My smile lines are not broken up. But I will say that the TIRTIR side is really smooth compared to the L'Oreal side. But the L'Oreal side is also very just like taking the form and texture of my skin. It doesn't look bad at all. My base looks really, really good for it having no primer at all. When my oils came through, nothing got patchy, nothing got blotchy, nothing got cakey, and nothing got crazy. The only thing is when you look at it around my lips where I didn't add like any powders, any colored powders or whatever, you can see that the TIRTIR side is definitely cooler compared to the L'Oreal side because the undertone essentially was a little bit on the gray side. But before I pick which side is the winner in this little game that we played, I'm gonna take my damp blending sponge and I'm just gonna go over everything to make it go back to looking matte. Okay, this is the oil accumulation. You can see, like, look, the oily and the regular glow. Like, my face gets oily, but it looks good. Like, the glow just makes it look that much. Okay, here we go. Now, individually, I may have loved these products separately in their own separate videos, but together, if I had to pick one of these two to go with and say, you know what, we're taking one and we're trashing it, and we're taking one and we're cherishing it. So I guess we're gonna name this section Trash or Cherish. Which one of these foundations am I gonna trash? Which one of these foundations am I going to cherish? And drum roll, I am going to trash the TIRTIR foundation. I'm trashing TIRTIR only because I don't have a specific shade in it. The consistency is thick and it covers everything. But once you know what the lightweight foundation feels like, the TIRTIR starts feeling heavy and almost like greasy on the skin. Although it is not greasy when you use it by itself, it's beautiful, it's glowy. But compared to a much thinner formula, it feels heavy on the skin. I don't want to work so hard to achieve like a flawless skin, especially if I need to get up and go to work in the morning and I just want to have like gorgeous even skin. I don't want to battle with my foundation before I have to go to work and battle at work, if you know what I mean. I'm cherishing the L'Oreal Cushion Foundation because I do have an exact shade match in it. I love that it's buildable and it's actually also a thin formula that it just goes on, blends in very easily. I love what it looks like. It's not too glowy. The L'Oreal Cushion Foundation is the winner in this comparison. I don't know if you've had a chance to wear both the TIRTIR and the L'Oreal Cushion Foundations. If you have, which one is your favorite? Which one did you like best? Let me know down below in the comments if there are any other things that you want me to compare. Don't forget to hype up this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, join my membership so that maybe we can start doing some members only lives. Maybe. I don't know. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Love you lots, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Get out the way. Who got a watch? Who got the time? I'm racing the clock. Even in my